It is right around 5:26 p.m. to 5:27 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025. And you've got to laugh at the insanity of a criminal slumlord who uses career criminals, severely disturbed psychopaths, and sex offender psycho trash to do their dirty work towards tenants who they happen to have a very prejudicial and discriminatory dislike for. The Greenville Group are a criminal slumlord organization. They have connections to Russian organized crime, as 6 separate individuals have walked up to me and told me at social events and in the housing court and other housing court related places over the last 3 years. And law enforcement themselves have admitted that the Greenville Group is housing a dangerous psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry, and that Irizarry targets other females. The property manager, a reported member of Russian organized crime named Oleg Alisyev, has repeatedly bragged and praised Jasmine Irizarry's brilliant hacking abilities, as he put it, and said that she is such a talented hacker. She can hack into anything and get into anything. And during another in-person conversation that I had with Mr. Alisyev, when I brought concerns about the electronic disabling and hacking of my multiple electronic devices to him, he said, "Oh, Jasmine Irizarry, she can take care of any problem. She can take care of any problem." So Mr. Alisyev is like blown away by Jasmine Irizarry's vast array of criminal abilities, because he's the one who's apparently and reportedly providing her with free rent and food, as somebody said, in exchange for electronic harassment of all types, and also physical intrusion and theft and vandalism that the Greenville Group continued to permit to happen in this unit. Because I have spent years asking them to place a surveillance device in the hallway outside of my door, like an actual camera. I'm not talking about the little tiny micro dot surveillance devices that the sex offenders use and stick around your toilet and you can't even see them or can barely see them, or it looks like just a little black paint splatter or something. I'm talking about actual security cameras, like the kind that, you can see in the entrance area of banks, for instance, or office buildings. They have refused, I'm talking about the Greenville Group, have refused to place any kind of surveillance camera in the hallways of this building to ensure the safety of their tenants against maybe other tenants who might have the tendency to break and enter into people's living spaces, who can pick locks and who are kleptomaniacs or just obsessive psycho hate stalkers who steal other people's things from inside their units. The Greenville Group have refused to provide tenants with that type of safety measure in this building. Therefore, I'm going to start listing the number of items that keep getting stolen out of this unit on an almost daily basis. I just noticed 2 more items are completely gone and missing today, after having gone through my bags and emptied out all my bags and looked for these items and even move things around in case they fell on the floor. I also sweep the floor on a regular basis, so anything that might have fallen out of a bag and landed on the floor and rolled under, for instance, that chair over there or over by the door, would get swept up. But these items disappear from my tote bag or handbag that I leave by the door, and they are never seen again. And the cost of replacing these items is actually adding up quite a bit. We're talking over $100 now of items that have been stolen by Jasmine Irizarry out of this unit over the last few weeks. Because Irizarry is, according to multiple staffers at the Greenville Group, the surveillance expert for the Greenville Group, and she has knowledge of where I hide my valuable things or just things that I like in the privacy of this living space. I just made several videos the other day of things that I hid in a tissue box over on this nightstand, having disappeared, been stolen from inside that tissue box. And another item that was taken from my family's condo in Connecticut a couple of weeks ago when I was down there was suddenly placed in that tissue box as some sort of sick and twisted replacement for the item I had put in it that suddenly was taken out. Also, things that I hide in other places get vandalized and contaminated. I hide my preferred and favorite food items in unusual places in this kitchen area that nobody should have any knowledge of. And then those items end up being noticeably vandalized or contaminated. And that's Jasmine Irizarry. She's been doing this for 11 years. So right now I've just left a voicemail for the Greenville Group because as I've been sitting at my table over the last 15 minutes, Irizarry has once again resumed her use of a directed energy device to electronically harass and assault me while I've simply been sitting there, literally just picking my nose. She engages in the use of a directed energy device to harass me when I do certain things that she thinks I might not want people to know. And she uses that directed energy device to let me know that she has full knowledge of what I am doing and at the exact moment that I happen to be doing it. So I was pretty much picking my nose in the privacy of this living space. Nothing unusual, nothing weird. It's just not something you would want to be doing out in public. And Irizarry, the sick and twisted, obsessive, psychotic psychopath, uses her directed energy weapon to electronically assault me when I do things like scratching my armpits, picking my wedgie, picking my nose, scratching my eczema. When I do things that are maybe considered a little bit too gross to be doing out in public, she wants to let me know that she has full knowledge of what I'm doing. It also extends to sitting on the toilet and just trying to use the bathroom. She also electronically assaults me when I'm sitting on the toilet with the door closed and the lights off. So over the last few, 20 minutes now, Irizarry has once again resumed her use of a directed energy weapon as her friend Christopher Thomas, aka Uncle Muscle, on YouTube. Apparently he wants people to think of him as a giant, hideous walking penis, which is probably exactly what he is. Mr. Christopher Thomas referred to my comments in a YouTube video where I was referring to this electronic assault device as a directed energy device. He got all worked up and agitated and corrected me in all capital letters to call it a directed energy weapon. Clearly, these pieces of shit have some sort of power trip over their use of a directed energy weapon to electronically harass and assault me based on what I happen to do in the privacy of this living space that I have every right to do, especially with the door closed. And that's not unusual. I mean, picking your nose, that's perfectly fine, right? Especially if you're in your private living space. But apparently the sick and twisted sex offender BLM hate stalkers, as they like to admit that they are, they claim that they're all BLM. Okay, so fine. Then BLM uses a directed energy weapon to harass people who don't look like them in the privacy of these people's living spaces that BLM should not and does not have the right to intrude upon in any surveillance-based capacity. And yet they do everything they can to let you know that that is exactly what they are doing, that they're intruding upon your every personal activity in your living space in an electronic capacity that is completely illegal. And they deliberately engage in the use of violent, intrusive, aggressive behaviors, including slamming and banging directly below my bed, the deliberate burning and propagation of sickening, overpowering, nauseating amounts of cigar and marijuana smoke that you can instantly smell, even in small quantities, but then becomes sickening in large quantities. And then they deliberately continue to use a directed energy weapon, as they keep referring to it and telling me to call it, to electronically assault me when I lie on my bed flat on my back facing the ceiling. So obviously there's some kind of device that gets them all jiggy and worked up and agitated when I lie flat on my back on my bed when I'm covered with a blanket and fully clothed. I'm never unclothed in this unit unless I absolutely have no choice, such as when I'm coming out of the shower. That's also when they like to use their directed energy weapon to electronically assault me, is when I take a shower, because they're a bunch of sick and twisted sex offender psycho trash who can't leave women alone. This is mostly a largely and almost entirely male tenant sex offender population that the Greenville Group are choosing to house and protect and favor in large numbers. And Ms. Irizarry is she looks like a man. She acts like a man, so she thinks she's a man and behaves like a man, and harasses other women as if she is a man. So she might be female, but she reacts and stalks and assaults and harasses other people as if she's a man. So I can't sit at my table right now just picking my nose because I'm getting electronically assaulted by the same directed energy weapon that Jasmine Irizarry has admitted in multiple written comments that she's getting paid a lot of money to use and to electronically assault other tenants with. And that's a problem.